Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. It always seems impossible until it's done. A winner is a dreamer who never gives up. Do not judge me by my successes, judge me by how many times I fell down and got back up again. The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. After climbing a great hill, one only finds that there are many more hills to climb. There is no passion to be found playing small, in settling for a life that is less than the one you are capable of living. I am the master of my fate, I am the captain of my soul. It is better to lead from behind and to put others in front, especially when you celebrate victory when nice things occur. You take the front line when there is danger. Then people will appreciate your leadership. I am fundamentally an optimist. Whether that comes from nature or nurture, I cannot say. Part of being optimistic is keeping one's head pointed toward the sun, one's feet moving forward. There were many dark moments when my faith in humanity was sorely tested, but I would not and could not give myself up to despair. That way lays defeat and death. I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. To be free is not merely to cast off one's chains, but to live in a way that respects and enhances the freedom of others. I dream of an Africa which is at peace with itself. As I walked out the door toward the gate that would lead to my freedom, I knew if I didn't leave my bitterness and hatred behind, I'd still be in prison. There can be no keener revelation of a society's soul than the way in which it treats its children. There is nothing like returning to a place that remains unchanged to find the ways in which you yourself have altered. No one is born hating another person because of the color of his skin, or his background, or his religion. People must learn to hate, and if they can learn to hate, they can be taught to love, for love comes more naturally to the human heart than its opposite. Real leaders must be ready to sacrifice all for the freedom of their people. There is no easy walk to freedom anywhere, and many of us will have to pass through the valley of the shadow of death again and again before we reach the mountaintop of our desires. There is no such thing as part freedom. Courageous people do not fear forgiving, for the sake of peace. Difficulties break some men but make others. No axe is sharp enough to cut the soul of a sinner who keeps on trying, one armed with the hope that he will rise even in the end. If you want to make peace with your enemy, you have to work with your enemy. Then he becomes your partner. We must use time wisely and forever realize that the time is always ripe to do right. I am not a saint unless you think of a saint as a sinner who keeps on trying. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe our channel.